Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining me tonight. Welcome to How to Make Money with Your Podcast. I am Eric K. Johnson, podcast talent coach. I appreciate you being here and joining us on this free training. I'm recording it here, so everybody who hasn't jumped in and joined us can see it in the replay. Let me share my screen with you so we can get rolling. The training's called How to Make Money with Your Podcast. So over the next 60 minutes or so, I'm going to show you how to make money with your podcast without chasing sponsors, without cluttering up your show with a whole bunch of ads, or more importantly, without changing who you are. And that's the most important part because I want you to be authentically you, make powerful connections with your audience and your guests, and lead them down the path to making money with your podcast. Stick around with me all the way to the end. At the end, I'm going to give you my free guide. It's called the Magnetic Influence Blueprint. Now, I've been coaching on-air radio talent for over 3 decades. I've been coaching podcasters for about a dozen years. These are the 5 proven performance secrets that are used by world-class speakers, broadcasters, and content creators that magnetically attract clients into their business. And this is what will help you make money with your podcast. I'm going to give you a free link to that at the end of this training today. So make sure you stick around all the way to the end. Now, I want you to get the most out of the hour that we spend together. So do yourself a favor. You spent the time to get here. Let's play full out today. Turn off your distractions. I know it's easy to get caught up in your email or Facebook, whatever's chiming and chirping at you. Mute your phone. Make sure you grab something to write with. Pen and paper always makes a deeper connection than typing on a keyboard. So if you have something to write with, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks, some nuances you're going to want to remember later on down the road so that you can implement what I'm teaching you and telling you. And then one last thing at the end, I'm going to invite you to join me in my Podcast Profits Accelerator. And that's going to help you implement exactly what I'm teaching you today. So that's what today is all about. It is all about growing your podcast, making money with your podcast. And if you play full out over these next 60 minutes, it is going to deliver so much value for you. And it can really change your life and how you view and approach your podcast and how you use it to make money and to monetize and really take you to the next level. That's what this is all about. That's what this training is all about today. So if there's anything that you can do today, it's grab that pen and paper so you can take some notes and follow along and implement this down the road. The nuances that I give you, you're going to want to remember. All right. So as we get into it, I want you to remember that your key to success is right here. I want you to use your podcast as a marketing tool for you instead of other sponsors and advertisers. And there's a reason why. There's a few reasons why. Ads and sponsors are not healthy for your show. Ads and sponsors are bad for your show for 3 reasons. First of all, your audience is fleeing traditional media because they want to get away from all of those big commercial breaks. They want to get away from all the ads and sponsors. Nobody watches a YouTube video and goes, oh, great, I get to see a 30-second commercial before I see the content that I came for. Nobody wants to listen to a pre-roll on your show. So your audience doesn't want it. It takes a really large audience to land big sponsors that will make you any meaningful money. I mean, they want audiences over 5,000 downloads per episode. And if you look at the stats, only about 7% of all podcasts have over 5,000 downloads per episode. So that means the other 93% of us need to find some other way to make money with our show. And then it takes a lot of time and effort to go chase down sponsors. You get paid one time for all that time wasted. Your sponsor gets paid over and over when people buy things. And then next month you have to go do it all over again. So stop chasing sponsors and stop wasting your time. And let's use your podcast as a marketing tool for you. And that's what I want to show you how to do today. Your key to your success is using your podcast as a marketing tool for you instead of other advertisers and sponsors. Now, there are 5 things that you need to make podcast money. These are the 5 steps to making money with your podcast. First, you need to have an offer. You need to offer people something to buy. This could be, you know what? A little later on in this, I'm going to get into what an offer means. I'm going to give you 7 different ways to make an offer to your audience. And I'm going to give you 5 little bonus ways to make money with your podcast. So where I promised you 7, I'm going to give you 12. If you can't make money by the end of this 60 minutes, you and I need to sit down and have a serious conversation. So step 1 to make money, have an offer. Step 2, have somebody to offer it to. All right. These steps aren't earth shattering. They're really pretty easy. You just need somebody to show you how to implement them. Step 3, build rapport with that audience. Get them to know, like, and trust you. Step 4, know how to offer your offer. Right? So you're not feeling all salesy. You don't get that pit in your stomach when you have to ask for money. You can do it the right way where asking for the sale is super easy. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And then 5 is just have a process to walk people down the path to doing business with you, to taking you up on your offer. All right. These are the 5 steps. I'm going to show you how to do all of this. Now, who am I and why am I of any authority to teach this stuff? I've been doing it for 35 years. I started my radio career in the late 1980s here in this Quonset hut. There's actually 4 rooms in this building. Well, 4 if you count the bathroom. There's the studio, the office, the front room, and the bathroom. And this is where I started my radio career and started falling in love with radio. That took me on to do amazing things. And over the past 35 years, I've been able to interview amazing people like George Strait and Lady Gaga and Lionel Richie. But more importantly, I've been able to grow an audience and capture the attention of that audience. And then after capturing the attention of the audience, be able to activate that audience to take action and move a room. And that's the power of your podcast. It's not only building the audience, but getting them to do what you want them to do. I mean, imagine how powerful your podcast could be if the audience wanted everything that you had to offer because they loved everything about you. They just had that relationship with you. Have you ever met somebody you've listened to for a long time, maybe on the radio, maybe on a podcast, maybe on a YouTube channel, and you meet them down the road and you think, I know we've never met, but I feel like I know everything about you because I've been listening to you for years. That's the power of your podcast. If you were able to create that, what difference would that make in your life? To be able to recommend something to your audience and they take action on it. How cool would that be? That's what I want to help you do. That's the power of your podcast. It's not chasing ads and sponsors. It's actually being who you are and getting people to fall in love with that. So just imagine what it would be like to make money with your podcast, talking about what you love to talk about, actually serving people, giving them what they need, helping them see what's possible in their life, and in return, generating revenue with your show. What would that make possible for you? In the chat, do me a favor, go to the chat. And if you were able to do these 3 things, make money while talking about what you love and serving others, what would that make possible for you in your life and with your show? I know you'd probably think, well, at least it'd pay for itself, right? If you have a little something, put it in the chat. Floyd says, I don't have a podcast, but I plan on starting one in April. Floyd, you and I should talk. I can help you do that. I just got an email earlier today. I have a lady. She came into my world 5 years ago, and she just emailed me today and said, Eric, I know it's been 5 years, but I'm launching my podcast. When can we get together and do it? So I'm going to start another class helping everybody launch their podcast. I'm going to do that here after the first of the year. That's a different conversation, Floyd. You and I could chat about that. I'll tell you all about it. Lucina says it will be possible to serve more people. Yeah, absolutely. You could serve so many people. Imagine the power of having a conversation with your ideal client each and every week. Like they come to visit you. They come by and you have a conversation with them and you tell them what's possible. You show them what's possible in their life. You help them overcome their challenges and then you offer to help them even more. That's the power of your podcast. And Luciana, if you don't have a podcast, you and I can talk about that as well. All right. Well, my keynote is completely going out of whack here. What do I want to do? There we go. All right. It wouldn't let me share. It's like, no, I don't think I want to play nicely. All right, here we go. So let's get into what we're talking about today. You're creating great content. You have a message to share. You're out there sharing it with people, but are you leveraging that content to its fullest potential? Are you using that to make that powerful connection with your audience? There are a few myths when it comes to podcasting. The first one is ads and sponsors are the best way to make money with your show. Like I've mentioned, ads and sponsors, the worst thing you could do to your show. Do not put ads and sponsors. If I didn't convince you earlier, let's talk further. I will convince you. You don't want to chase ads and sponsors. It costs way too much of your time and energy to go chase a sponsor, and you only get paid once. There's a ceiling on it. It takes a really big audience to attract meaningful ads and sponsorships that are going to make you any meaningful money. It takes a lot of time to go out and land them. There's an income ceiling. You can only put so many ads and sponsors on your show. Therefore, there's a cap to how much you could possibly make. And then there's no long tail. And what I mean by that is that you get paid one time from your ad, from your sponsor. And then every time something sells, they get paid again and again and again. And you never see any residual income from it. You get paid one time and it's over. The only way to get paid again is go find another sponsor. So don't do that to your show. That's just a bad way to make money. The truth is you can make more money in less time by selling your own products and services, or create an affiliate program, which I'll tell you about a little bit more in a bit. But when you create your own products or services and you sell those through your podcast, now every time something sells, you're making money. So use your podcast as a marketing tool for you. All right, here's 7 ways to make money. Make sure you got a pen and paper to write these down. These are, you don't have to do all 7. Pick one and run with it. If one starts working, take another one and run with it. The first thing you can do is sell your own products. Maybe you've written a book and you're using it to sell your books. Maybe you sell things on Etsy, or you make crafts and you want to sell those. Maybe you've created some digital product you want to sell. Use your podcast to show the transformation possible through the product. Market the product and the transformation on your show. Lead people to your website to go buy the product. Super easy. Next one is sell your one-on-one coaching. If you're an expert in information, you teach people how to do something, selling your one-on-one coaching is the easiest way to start. This is where I started. Matter of fact, I started selling my one-on-one coaching before I even had a podcast. I started coaching people just using my radio training. And I didn't have some elaborate setup. He reached out to me via email and said, "Will you coach me?" I said, "Sure." He said, "How much?" I told him, and I only charged him $300. He said, "Where do I send the check?" I gave him my address. He FedExed me a check and I started coaching him. It was that easy. Like, you don't have to have some big back end setup. Just have somebody give you money, have them Venmo you and start coaching them. But to help them see the transformation that's possible. You talk about the transformation on your show and you lead people over to get into your program. Step three, or the third way to make money, is to sell your courses. Maybe you've created a digital course that people can go through. You create the course one time, you market it on your podcast, you talk about little pieces of the course on your podcast, show them how to make money with the show or with the course, and then you go tell them, here's how you go and enroll in that program. Maybe they enroll on your website. Maybe you have a course built in Thinkific or something like that, and you just sell your courses, right? Every time a course sells now, you make money. And here's the great thing. You talk about your course on episode 10, and all of a sudden, a year from now, somebody discovers your podcast. They go back and they start binging all of your episodes and listening to all of it. And they go back and they listen to episode 10 and they hear, oh, he's got a course. I'm going to go buy it, right? So they could listen to it a year down the road and buy your course, and you're still making money. That's what I mean by the long tail. Fourth way to make money is sell a membership or a mastermind, similar to one-on-one coaching, but you're doing it in a group setting now. So you're selling a membership. Get into my membership. It's $97 a month. It's $197 a month. I have a client who just recently sold a mastermind, and the mastermind is $1,500 a month. And he's got people in it that he's got like 15 people in it, and he's making great money. And he just sold it one time, and he's thinking, you know what, I'm going to launch a second one coming up in February. I said, let's do it. Make it happen. The fifth way to make money is to sell events. So maybe you have online virtual 3-day workshops. I have a friend, Janelle Anderson. She teaches people how to build, launch, and run 3-day events. And they're paid events. People get into it. Maybe they'll spend $150 or $300 to come spend a weekend with you virtually online on Zoom. During the event, you help them build something, get some sort of transformation. That's the foundation of your next higher level thing. A great way to use events is to teach somebody how to do a piece of your overall program in a 3-day event, and then invite them to join your high-end mastermind for the entire year. You could sell events where you bring other people in and they're selling their things and you're making a commission. So you just host the event. Everybody else comes in and sells their stuff at your event, and you take a cut of everything they sell. You don't have to sell anything. Let them do the selling. You just build the event. A variety of ways for you to create events and make money. Sixth way is to sell your speaking services. Maybe you're a paid speaker. There's nothing like a great calling card than using your podcast as an example of what you're like when you're on stage. You're giving the audience the whole you. And if you'd like to book me to speak, here's where you can find me. Go over to my website, shoot me an email, hit me up on Facebook, however people contact you. But your speaking services are demonstrated through your podcast, and then you invite people. If you'd like me to come speak to your organization, here's where you can find me. And you become a paid speaker, and your podcast markets your speaking services. And if people listen to episode 10 a year from now, again, you're still making money when they hire you. And then finally, sell affiliate programs. Now, an affiliate program is where you're marketing somebody else's product or service, but you're getting paid every time it sells. So if I have a program that sells for $1,000 and there's a 50% affiliate commission, I would give you an affiliate link that's unique to you that leads to my product to buy it. And let's say my affiliate commission is 50% because it's a recorded program that I don't have to do anything with. People can just get into it. Now you market my program through your podcast and such and get people to go buy it. And when people go to the sales page, they see the sales video, they buy the program for $1,000, you make $500. And you don't have to do anything but talk about the program. You don't have to build the program. You don't have to deliver the program. You don't have to do anything. Now, if you're going to get into an affiliate program, the one thing I recommend you do is make sure the program is good. So I would suggest you buy it and go through it and make sure you get the value from it that you're going to talk about. If not, at least know somebody that's gone through it. Legally, you can't say you've used a product that you haven't used. I know it sounds logical, but so many people do it and they get in trouble with the federal government for making false claims, saying this product's great when they've never used it and they don't know it's great. So if you're going to go through affiliate programs, make sure you're well aware of the legal ramifications of saying things that you can't prove to be true. All right. Affiliate programs are great though. I'm an affiliate for a ton of programs that I absolutely love. I create affiliate programs. I go sign up for affiliate programs for the things I use. So, for instance, I use Libsyn to host my podcast, and I love Libsyn. I've used it since I started. So, I'm an affiliate for Libsyn, and I tell people go use Libsyn to host your podcast. And when people do, I get an affiliate commission from them signing up for Libsyn. So that's a great way to make money without having to do a lot of work. All right, there's your 7 ways. Everybody got that? Take a picture of it if you need it. It's amazing. All right, here's the next myth. My audience isn't big enough to make money. Now, this is true if you're trying to sell ads and sponsors, because like I mentioned, you need at least 5,000 downloads per episode to go sell ads and sponsors. But if you're doing it the way I'm teaching you, you don't need a big audience to make money with your podcast. You need the right audience to make money with your podcast. If you're building relationships with your audience and you're leaning into them and you're helping them see the transformation that's possible, you don't need a big audience. You just need people that love you for who you are and love what you do and want to get more from you. And when you do this, what I recommend is that you lean into it and you show people the why on your podcast. Talk a lot about why they want to do what they want to do. You don't teach them the how. Too many people get on their podcast and they teach the how. Stay away from the how. All right. People gloss over like they're in college listening to a professor speak when you get into the how. Nobody wants the nuts and bolts. They want the excitement that comes with it. And that's the why you do what you do. Lean into the why. When you're creating your podcast content, talk a lot about the why, maybe a little bit about the what to do, but leave the how to do it to your program. If you want to see how to do it, come join me in the program. This is why you need to do it, why you need to lean into being yourself, why you need to do whatever it is that you do. So lean into that. That's how people fall in love with you and they want to come and learn what it is that you have to offer. All right. When you find the right audience, you're in. Here are 5 bonus ways to make money with your podcast. These a lot of people overlook, especially when you're doing an interview style podcast. So when you create great content and you're creating people in your audience who love who you are, they're super fans, you can turn your listeners into clients. So those are kind of the 7 ways I just taught you. You have this big audience. Let's get them to buy what you have to offer. All right. Turn your listeners into clients. Next, you could turn your guests into clients. So if you have a strategy call for your coaching, if you want to show people how your program works, if you have things to offer, you can interview people who might want to buy what you have to offer. Interview them about the challenges they're facing, how they're trying to overcome them, what they've tried that hasn't worked, what they've tried that has worked, and where they are today. And you can turn those listeners into clients or turn those guests into clients. As you interview them, you can show them what's possible by working with you during the interview. You can interview and upsell current clients. So let's say you have a membership that might be a couple $100 a month and you have people in it, but you have a high-end coaching program and that might be $2,500 a month, right? You might interview members of the community, talk to them about their challenges, answer their questions about what it is, help show them what one-on-one coaching with you looks like. And then when the interview's over, invite them to go to the next level with you and enjoying your high-end program and interview current clients to upsell them and move them up the ladder to work at an even deeper level with you and at a higher price tag. You can use your podcast to network with joint venture partners. So this goes back to our affiliate program. If somebody has an $2,000 program, so like Jeff Walker's product launch formula or Groove from Mike Filsaime, something like that. That's a high-end program. You could interview those experts on your show to show your audience what that program can do for them and invite people to use your affiliate link to buy the program. And when they buy the program, you get paid the affiliate commission. So you can use your platform to network with JV partners. You could also do partner swaps where they put you on their podcast in exchange for you putting them on your podcast. That gets you in front of a new audience, helps you grow your audience, bring more people into your world, show them what you can do and what you have to offer, and really increase your ability to make money. And then finally, you can use your podcast to network with mentors. Like, how many times have you tried to get coffee with a mentor so you could pick their brain and they're like, I don't have time for you to pick my brain. I got better things to do. But if you call them and invite them to be interviewed on your podcast, most of the time they'll say yes, because everybody loves to be interviewed. Everybody loves the spotlight. Jamie Masters wanted to learn how to become a millionaire. So she started a podcast called The Eventual Millionaire, and she just interviewed millionaires all day long about how they became a millionaire. And so every week she got to talk to a different millionaire about how to be a millionaire. And it led to her making money because she just used the podcast platform as a way to get mentored by millionaires. It was a fantastic concept, and it's a way that you can get in front of people who usually wouldn't give you the time of day because they're way too busy, but they're more than happy to be interviewed on your show. All right. So let's go back to the 5 ways to make money, right? You need to have an offer. You need to have someone to offer it to. You need to build rapport with them. You need to know how to offer it. And you need to have a sales process. So we talked about having an offer, right? I gave you the 7 ways to make money. So you can pick one of them and figure out what it is you want to offer. You need to have someone to offer it to. I just gave you those 5 bonuses, right? We can offer it to our audience. We can offer it to our guests. We can offer it to our current clients. We can use JV partners, or we can get our mentors to mentor us as well. So now you have someone to offer it to. Now we need to build rapport with them. We need to build that know, like, and trust. And that takes us to the next myth. And that next myth is I'm bad at selling. If you hate selling, just put me in the chat. Because if you're like me, you kind of get that little pit in your stomach when you got to sell something. Well, what I discovered was we're bad at selling because we're selling the wrong way, right? When you sell properly, the sale takes care of itself. And it takes me back to Zig Ziglar, when Zig would always say, you can have anything in life you want as long as you help enough other people get what they want. And that dovetails perfectly into selling. Because when you help people clearly understand their problem and see the path to the solution, you can offer them even greater help by offering your solution to them, and they will pay you money to make it quicker and easier for them. It's super easy. There are 4 phases of selling. All right. This is what most people misunderstand. And this is why most people hate selling, because they do the 4 phases incorrectly. The first phase is building rapport. That's I get to know you, I get to like you, I get to trust you. We get to build a little rapport between each other. And I'm like, I kind of like this person. Maybe I want to do business with them. If the rapport isn't there, the sale is difficult. Next, you want to qualify your prospect. Qualifying your prospect means I need to make sure that I'm right for you and you're right for me, that we're a fit before I try to offer you anything. I need to make sure you're right for the program. The last thing I want to do is put you in the wrong program. Then, if you're right for the program, I educate you on the program. I educate you on the solution. Far too many people start here. Far too many people go, hey, Jack, I have a program. Do you want to buy it? Without knowing anything about Jack. Or they come up to Jill and say, Jill, you'd be perfect for my program. People would email me to be on my podcast, and they say, I think I'd be a perfect guest for your podcast. Well, the truth of the matter was my first 275 episodes, I didn't interview anybody. The first 275 episodes were just me. But that didn't stop them from saying, I think I would be a great guest on your show. And I'd say, really, which guest did you like the best? And then I wouldn't hear back from them again, because they would rush to this point right here. They would go straight to educating on their solution rather than building rapport and qualifying your prospect. If you do it properly, you can finally ask for the order. Because once I make sure that you're right for the solution, I can explain the solution to you and ask you if you're interested in pursuing it. Now, all these steps are not created equal. You should spend about 40% of your time building rapport, getting to know each other, getting to understand who you are. The next 30% is qualifying your prospect. Let me make sure that you're right for the program. Let me make sure I'm right for you. Do you like me? Do you trust me? Do you think I can help you get the results you're looking for? Do you believe what I've told you so far? Like, we're qualifying each other. Do I think you have in you what it takes to do the work to get the results that I'm telling you is possible? The next 20% is educating you on the solution. So once we've built rapport and qualified each other, then I educate you what I have to offer you. And if we get through all of that, the last 10% is, would you like to start? How would you like to pay for it? Let's get rolling. And if you do it in the right way, asking for the order is just a step you have to go through. It all takes care of itself. It's a formality by this point. But here's the secret. When you craft your podcast in the right way, your podcast will do the first two for you before you even have the sales conversation. Because you're able to share your story. You're able to share yourself on the podcast. You're able to get to know, your audience is able to get to know you. It's like I mentioned earlier. Have you ever met anybody? You say, I know we never met, but I feel like I know you because I've listened to every episode you've put out. I've listened to your show for years. That's how you're building rapport, because you share little pieces of yourself with your audience on every episode. And over time, they get to know you. They know your dog's name. They know how many kids you have. They know what city you live in. They know where you grew up. They know about your background. They know how you got where you are. They know about your superpower. They know all of that. And when you show them the transformation that you've helped others achieve, that's how you're qualifying your prospect, because your prospect says, I'm just like that person. If they can do it, I can do it. And they start to self-qualify themselves because they see who you've helped by what you're sharing on your show and the way you're shaping your content. So now by the time they reach out and say, hey, can we have a conversation? I'm interested in a strategy call. I'm coming to your website to watch your sales video. They're 70% through the buying process. Now they just want to come and get educated on the solution to make sure the solution's right for them. And so if you craft your podcast content in the right way, you're building the rapport and qualifying your prospect, and the sales process becomes so much easier. When I have strategy calls with listeners, they sign up for the call, and when I talk, they're like, oh, yeah, I've heard you talk about that on your show. They've already qualified themselves. They know what I have to offer. So we have an offer. We have someone to offer it to. We're building rapport with our audience, but we're still not making money, right? Because we don't know how to offer it. So there are 6 things that typically prevent you from making money with your podcast. These are the 6 you need to overcome in order to get to the finish line. First, you're probably not making money if you have nothing to sell. We solved that a little bit ago with creating our offer. You have to have offer if you want to make some money. Second thing is you're not asking for the sale. I had a friend, we had been friends for probably 6 months, and I'd been listening to his podcast, and we were talking one day, and he mentioned his book. He's like, oh, yeah, I talk about that in my book. And I said, wait a minute, you have a book? And he goes, oh, yeah, it's been out for a while. And I said, we've known each other for 6 months. How did I not know you had a book? And he goes, oh, I don't want people to feel like I'm beating them over the head with it. And I go, hey, I completely understand that, but I've never heard you talk about it. How do you expect anybody to buy your book if you never even mention it? And he goes, you know what? That's probably a good point. And so then he starts talking about the book on the show, and the book starts to sell again. If you're not telling people you have something for them that will help them, you're not going to sell anything. You have to ask for the sale. Tell them how to buy it. You may not be making money if you're not seeking to help first. Right? We're rushing too fast to let me tell you what my product can do for you. We need to show them the transformation that's possible. We need to help them get clarity on their challenges and their problems. We need to show them what's possible, what's possible down the line, the transformation that's in front of them and what they could possibly accomplish, and help them get clarity. And when we can help them first, then we can invite them, would you like some help executing it? Would you like some help going a little further? Would you like some help walking down that path? Here's what you need to do. Would you like me to take your hand and show you how to do it? And they would say, oh, if you could make it quicker and easier for me, absolutely, I'm in. You may not be making money if you're not solving the true pain. So many people think, oh, making money with your podcast, that's the true pain. Let me show you how to do it. But making money with your podcast probably isn't the true pain. You know, if you help moms start an online business, you may think, well, their big problem is they don't know how to start a business. But that might not be the true pain. If you ask them, well, why is it that you want to start your own business? They say, well, I want to get out of my 9 to 5. All right. Well, why is it that you want to get out of the 9 to 5? They say, well, I want to control my time. I want to be the master of my own destiny. I want to be able to work when I want to work and not work when I don't want to work. And I want to be able to control the amount of income I generate. Okay, well, why is it that you want to be the master of your time? And then we say, well, I have 2 kids who are in grade school, and I really wish I could be at home and homeschool them instead. And if I had a business where I could work on it at night and on the weekends when the kids are in bed, then I would be able to be at home and I could spend more time with my kids and I could really homeschool them and I could make a big difference in their life. That's the true pain. The true pain is being able to spend time with her kids. Not how do I build a business? How do I build a funnel? How do I build a website? She doesn't care about that. She wants to solve her true problem, and that's more flexibility in her life and more availability for her kids. So if you really want to be powerful and you really want to make money with your podcast and you want to make the sale, the thing you have to do is uncover the true pain. And you do that by asking why multiple times. Why do you want to do that? And get to the true pain. And that's what you talk about on your podcast. You may not be making money because you're not selling the transformation. You're probably selling the ingredients in the box instead of what the box can do, right? Instead of selling a birthday cake and the celebration that comes along with it, you're selling the butter and the sugar and the flour that went into making it and the bowl I had to use and the whisk I had to use to stir it up and the 450 degrees I had to bake it at. Like nobody cares about any of that. They just want the result. They want the transformation. If you're helping people lose weight, they're not hiring you because you're going to work with them 3 days a week, an hour a day, and make their meal plan for them and show them the exercises to do. They're not buying exercises and meal plans. They're buying, I get to fit into my skinny jeans. Sell the transformation, not the ingredients inside the box. And finally, if you're not making money, it may be because you haven't established the trust and rapport, which goes back to what we just talked about. Use your podcast to build that powerful relationship with your audience. Build the rapport. So to make money, we have an offer. We have someone to offer it to. We're building rapport with them. We know how to offer it. We're going through the 4 phases of the sales phases. Now we need a process. So how do we get them from point A to point B of giving us money for what it is we have to offer? And there's challenges that people run into when they try and put this all together. One of the challenges, they say, it's really hard to offer things without making it sound like an ad. It's hard to make yourself likable while selling something. And that's true when you start at phase 3 of the selling process. Hey, let me tell you what I have to sell you. I don't even know who you are yet. When you do it in the right way and you start at the top and you build the rapport and then you qualify your prospect, then we can get to educating them. Now it's not feeling like an ad. It doesn't feel salesy and creepy. It feels like you're offering value to people and helping them find a solution to their problem. Some people say, do I really have anything valuable to share? If you are thinking this, Your biggest problem is that you're relying too much on your content and not enough on your context. Anybody can share your content. You have your 6 steps to success. I can go over to Chat GPT and generate your 6 steps to success in a heartbeat. I don't need to spend $500 on your program to learn your 6 steps. Chat GPT can spit those out for me. What Chat GPT can't do is be you. It can't share your perspective and your opinion and your beliefs and your values. You have to create that filter that takes your content and runs it through that context to make it uniquely you. That's how you make your podcast stand out from everybody else in your niche. You run it through your filter and you be unapologetically you, and people will love you for it. There will be a few people that don't like you, and that's okay because you're either with me or against me. If everybody's rating you a 3 on a 1 to 5 scale, you're dead in the water because 3 means, I can take it or leave it. Doesn't really matter. But if you have a bunch of 5s that love you and a bunch of 1s that hate you, at least you have a bunch of people that are going to buy from you. And we don't really care about the 1s because they're not going to buy anyway. So get off the fence and make them love you by sharing who you are and your opinion. And people find a challenge to get the whole podcast to fit into their marketing plan because they're relying on their content. They're not doing what I just showed you, and creating content that stirs emotion in people, builds rapport with your audience, qualifies your audience, and helps them get down the path to creating that success. Just imagine what would be possible and the business that you could build inside of your podcast if you're creating this content and building this relationship with your audience. And it may not even be a business. Maybe you have a cause that you want people to support. It's the same thing. When you're building the rapport, you could say, "Hey, follow me. Let me show you the way. Come join me in the cause. Come join me in the crusade. Come join me so we can conquer the world together." But it all starts with building the rapport because you're still selling them on an idea, right? If you look at Jesus Christ, he wasn't selling anybody anything, but he was selling everybody everything, right? He was out telling them exactly what he wanted, what he believed in, what he valued. And he said, if you believe it too, follow me. And the people who didn't believe him didn't follow him. And that was okay. That was okay. But he got people off the fence. He built rapport with them. He built that know, like, and trust, and he got them to come along. So you could be selling products, services, or just a mission and an idea. But it all starts with you being you and getting people to follow you in that mission. So I would like to give you an opportunity to come join me in my Podcast Profits Accelerator, because in Podcast Profits Accelerator, I take your hand and I walk you through this entire process to show you exactly how to implement all of this in your podcast, how to create great content that builds rapport with your audience and walks them down the path to doing business with you. The Podcast Profits Accelerator is a group program that will help you build your offer, one of the 5 ideas. It will help you create valuable content on your podcast so you can build that rapport and build that know, like, and trust, qualify your prospect so you can get them to the place where you can offer your offer to the right people. Whether that's a one-on-one call with you, could be a webinar, could be a 3-day event. Maybe you're on stage somewhere else. But how do you offer it to the right people in the right way at the right time? And then we show you how to repeat it. Once we refine it, we repeat it over and over. That's what the Podcast Profits Accelerator is all about. It's a full year-long program, and I would love to have you come join me in it. It is an amazing opportunity for you to get the help that you need. By the end of the program, you'll increase the downloads for your podcast. You're going to craft your sales process. So your sales process has a start and a finish, and it's logical for your listeners and your guests to walk down that path to do business with you. We'll help you grow your business and make money with your show, but most importantly, it's going to help you explode your impact. so you become the go-to expert in your niche that people want to come and work with. All right. As part of this program, you get expert coaching from me in this group setting twice a month. You get in-depth strategies for your podcast and your business, and you get hands-on help. Because not only am I teaching you in every call, I'm also answering your questions live right there. So you get the hands-on help that you need. There are multiple facets to the Podcast Profits Accelerator. Like I mentioned, we do live calls twice a month. This is where I teach everybody in the Podcast Profits Accelerator the process of building that know, like, and trust, building great content that builds rapport with your audience. It helps you build content that relies on the context and not the content, so that you can start walking people down that path and you can qualify them for what you have to offer, so you can start generating money with your show. I record all of the calls. You get access to the whole video library so you can go back and revisit any of the calls. I'm a true believer that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. We may talk about something this month on the call that maybe you're just not ready for, but 6 months down the road, you're at a spot and you think, you know what, Eric talked about that on one of the calls. You can go back into the library, find that call, and revisit that call anytime you'd like. And that's what's great about the video library. I have other videos in there that you'll have access to as well. I record all of my workshops and things like that. I have a full Podcast Profits video library. You will have access to that anytime you'd like. If you want to deep dive into a particular topic that will help you grow your audience, grow your email list, get interviewed on other podcasts, you can find those inside the video library as well. I host podcast boot camps periodically throughout the year. Sometimes they're half a day, sometimes they're a full day, sometimes they're 3 days. All depends what I have to train on. I train on you on growing your audience. I train you on making money with your podcast, and I train you on creating powerful content that magnetically attracts your ideal clients into your business. And you get access to all of those boot camps for free. I sell them to my list. It's a ticketed event. You get to come as my guest, as being a member of the Podcast Profits Accelerator. We have a private Facebook support group where you can get in and ask questions and get all of your questions answered between our calls. If you want some input from any of the other members of the Podcast Profits Accelerator. Over my 35 years of radio, I've created a lot of templates and documents for the talent that I coach. Everything from a show prep planner to podcast launch checklist to how to interview correctly, how to review your podcast. There's dozens of them in there, over 3 dozen tools and templates inside my toolkit and library. You get full access to that, so you have all the tools that you need to not only launch your podcast, but effectively grow it and monetize it. I give you a one-on-one onboarding call. A lot of times I get into programs and I think, man, this is overwhelming. Where do I even start? That's why I added the onboarding call. You and I get together. I show you the whole platform. I walk you through it step by step, show you how to log in, show you where to find all of the videos and all the worksheets and everything you need, show you how to find the calls. All of that, I walk you through it one-on-one, answer all of your questions. You get that in the onboarding call as a member of the Podcast Profits Accelerator. The total value is over $13,000 for the Podcast Profits Accelerator, but membership is just $250 a month for all of it. Now, I charge $250 a month for a single call with anybody that wants coaching. You get 2 calls a month plus access to the recordings, the video library, the boot camps, the toolkit library, the Facebook group, and the onboarding call for $250 a month. So you're getting well over double your investment each and every month to help you effectively launch and grow your podcast. To make it a little easier, I'm throwing in 3 amazing bonuses as well as you launch and grow your show. I'm giving you the Audience Explosion Blueprint Coaching Program. This is a program that I coached live on how to grow your audience quickly and effectively, how to get in front of your ideal listener and bring them to your show. I sell it for $997. You'll get that for free inside the Podcast Profits Accelerator platform. You'll get an additional 30-minute coaching call with me to use anytime you'd like. You get stuck and you're ready for the next level. You want a 30-minute coaching call. You and I can get on a Zoom call and I'll walk you through all of your challenges, get you unstuck, and keep you moving forward so you're getting the most benefit out of your membership possible. Then I have a podcast or a program. It's a video course called How to Crush Your Next Podcast Interview Like a Radio Star without years of experience or hours of preparation. These are the tools and tactics that I've used to interview great stars like Lady Gaga and George Strait and all of the others that I've interviewed. I even interview them during this program and let you hear the interview. I critique it for you. I've even interviewed stars on being interviewed, what they like and don't like, so that when you conduct your next interview or you're a guest on another show getting interviewed, you know how to make it most effective. It's all inside this program. It's $197 value. That sells on my website as well. You get that for free inside the Podcast Profits Accelerator. So it takes the entire value up over $15,000. It's only $250 a month. And it's super easy. You can even save if you sign up for the annual program. You'll save a couple months on it, but $250 a month to start making money with your podcast. If you implement what I've shown you today, you can easily make that back. Imagine if you were able to create the things I showed you and you're able to land just 2 clients from that are paying you every month. You could easily cover the investment in the Podcast Profits Accelerator. To join, you can visit podcasttalentcoach.com/accelerator. All of the information is right there. I'm going to paste that link here in the chat for you as well. This is going to take you directly to it. That will take you directly to the page that tells you all about the Podcast Profits Accelerator. You can also get it at podcastprofitsaccelerator.com. So jump in there, and I would love to have you come join us. In the meantime, if you have any questions about what we talked about today, or you have any questions about Podcast Profits Accelerator, post those up in the chat as well. I will answer those for you before we end the call here. If you jump into Podcast Profits Accelerator, you say, oh, I don't know, Eric, not sure it's for me. I'm not sure I can get it. I got a 30-day money-back guarantee for you. So you can get into Podcast Profits Accelerator. You can get through the first 2 calls, find out what it's all about. If it's not for you, just say, hey, not for me. I'd like my money back. I'll refund your money. No questions asked. There is an annual discount. Like I mentioned, if you go over to podcasttalentcoach.com/accelerator, you'll see the annual discount there, and you can cancel anytime. It's month to month. It's super easy to get to. If you go to podcasttalentcoach.com/accelerator, that's where you'll find it. Podcasttalentcoach.com/accelerator. I post that link in the chat for you as well. So if you have questions, post those up in the chat. Let me cover any questions that you have. I'd be more than happy. Question, do you have a pre-qualification form or an exploratory call? I don't have a podcast yet. Luciana, I hope I pronounced your name right. I'm more than happy to do a call with you. If you want to have a call and see if it's right, by all means, let's jump on a call for you. I'm going to put I'll put my calendar link in here, and let's get you on a call, and I can talk to you about what that looks like, and talk to you about how we can get your podcast launched and get you into it and show you what it's all about. So great question. I do not have a pre-qualification form, but if you'd like to have a conversation, and if you're watching the replay and you want to have a conversation to see if it's right for you, I completely understand. Shoot me an email at coach@podcasttalentcoach.com if you're watching the replay, and I'll shoot you my calendar link as well, and we can schedule something, and I can show you exactly what the program's all about. We'll find out where you want to go. So on the calls that I do, on my strategy calls, let me explain a little bit about that. A strategy call, we'll get on a call. I'll ask you where you want to go. Like, what's your ultimate goal? Where are you today? And then we'll talk about how we build a bridge to get you there and see if this program makes sense to help bridge that gap. We'll talk about the challenges that you're facing, what you've tried, what you tried that's worked, what you've tried that hasn't worked, and we'll just see if it makes sense for you. And if it doesn't, at least we've become friends, right? And if it does, you're one step closer to your goal, which would be fantastic. So I'd love to have a call with you. Coach at podcasttalentcoach.com is my email address. You can email me there. Any other questions? Post those up in the chat. What day and time are the calls? So the calls happen twice a month. They happen the first and third Tuesday of the month, and we do it at 4 p.m. Central Time. So it happens the first and third Tuesday of the month, 4 p.m. Central Time, and they last about an hour ish. I usually teach for about 40 to 45 minutes on a particular subject that has to do with what we've talked about today, about building your system and about getting exposure. We talk a lot about growing your audience and getting you in front of the right people. We talk a lot about your content. So you're creating that know, like, and trust, that rapport and that qualification. And we talk a lot about making money with your show. How do you monetize it? So we talk a lot about those three things. I'll teach on one of those for about 40 to 45 minutes, and then I'll answer questions. As long as attendees have questions, I'll hang out. We usually go about an hour because that's about what most people plan. But sometimes we'll stick around longer if we get into a big discussion about something and I need to teach on a little something more. Sometimes we'll go a little longer than an hour. But Tuesdays, first and third Tuesday of the month, 4 p.m. Central Time. And it's on Zoom and they last about 60 minutes. All right. If nobody has any other questions, I truly appreciate you being here. Jump on my calendar if you want to discuss it further, or better yet, just jump into the program and let's have a really good time getting at it. And let me show you how to do it. So for those of you that are here live, I promised you my guide, my magnetic influence blueprint guide. This is a link straight to my Google Drive there in the chat. So if you click on that, it takes you straight to my Google Drive and you can download it. You don't even have to opt in for anything because you're already here, right? And I love you for being here. So click on that, download it, save it to your desktop. That will help you be the influential and magnetic person that you need to be as you go out and you create great content. And Floyd, if you want to talk about launching your podcast, shoot me an email or jump on my calendar in that link there as well. And we can talk about doing that. All right. Love y'all. Thanks for being here. Can't wait until we do it again. And we'll see y'all real soon. Take care.